Hello there, guys. Welcome back. I just went through the rig that we created so far, and I realized it just made a mistake with the IK system. Um, at the moment, I only have the IK join. I think it's the only one that I have here. I think it's the IK somewhere here. Yeah, the IK. So the FK is hidden, and I think the original as well is hidden. So I only have the IK system here. So what we did was that we took this, and this controller is controlling this IK handle uh, through the through a not this one in particular, but I think okay, I know what I did. So what happened was originally what I did was this IK handles was control, so the control was controlling this IK handle through a parent constraint, just like we did this one. So this guy here, you see, got a parent constraint. So I created, you remember, I created the same here with this and with this one as well, and with this one. Now, the reason I can't do this one here is because I need to have these IK handles under this control. Just remember that a parent constraint and a parenting sort of work similar. When you do a parent constraint, you take over these and these, but then you lock them. But when you do a parent, that's a parent constraint. When you do a parenting, you sort of take control over this one, but you will still be able to move or whatever you are. For example, if you are a parent and the child is being controlled by the parent, but then the child still can run around. Okay, you can do stuff around. So they still got freedom to do stuff. So at the moment, if I kept with the original system, I would not be able to create the stuff that we're gonna create now, which is this the reverse foot control system. So allow us to do like the peeling the heel, toe tapping, and pivot for the toes and stuff like that. So we cannot do that because once we create a parent constraint for either of these, all of these one, they are already all this gets locked, so we can't do anything with it. Okay. So at the moment, this hasn't got the parent constraint, but you can see that this here, they have the parent constraint. So at the moment, these ones are locked, and I can't do anything with this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to each one of these and then delete the parent constraint. So I go parent constraint, so this second handle hasn't got parent constraint, this one hasn't got parent constraint either, and this one here only got a pull vector constraint, but that's because it's controlled by this control here. Okay, so if I take I think I have to do is select this, shift select this, press P, parent. So now this is control here, and then it works. And the same goes with these two. So we take these two here, we shift select this, we press P. So now this is under all of them. So all these three IK control or IK handles, sorry, are under this control, and this now it works because it's go under here, so they will have a connection now. So now I can start working on the reverse system that I talked to you about. So pretty much what you do is you take the original IK handle and you press Control G. Okay, and we are gonna name this group. I'm gonna call this group the peel heel underscore group, and I'm going to press insert and move the pivot point to here, to this ball here. So I'm just gonna so it's showing here right there. So I press V for vertex snap or point snap, and that's it. So I press insert again. So now I have this still working with no problem, but under this you can see that here that's the control. This is the IK handle. This is the group that I create on top of the IK handle. But all what I did was I put the pivot in a different position right here. So now when I try to rotate from that position, it gives me this. Do you see? So I have the ability now to peel. So just move the heel like that, okay, and then still having the front or heel, the toes planted on the surface. So I'm gonna undo that. So I'm just gonna do that. So that's one step. The next step is to take these two, and these two, and press Control G as well, and then I'm gonna call that. I'm gonna call them the toe tap underscore GRP, and the pivot for that is going to be as well here in the middle here. So I take this and I press it. By default, obviously goes into the world 0, 0, 0, and I press insert, press V for point snapping, and I snap it here. I press insert again, and this will allow me to do the toe tapping, which is this. Okay. Now I take those two groups that we just created, this and this, select them, and then press Ctrl G, and then group them again. And now this is gonna be called the toe pivot group. So I'm gonna call this. I'm gonna open it here. So it will be the toe pivot group. So toe pivot underscore group, and that will go into the toe, or into the toe or the end, the tip here. So I press that here. This group is by default in the middle there. So we press insert. V, then snap it right there, just insert again, and this will allow me to do this. You see, so I can, tap here from the just pivot for the point there, for just point at the beginning. So I'm gonna do that, and now I'm gonna take what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that final one that I created and then group it again. So Control G, and you see you got one group here, one group there, another group on top, and another group on top. And this one is going to be called the heel pivot underscore grp. So heel pivot grp, and that is going to be right here. So I'm going to take this, press insert, and then go to there, press insert again, and that will allow me to do this. Okay, so you have the control to to animate all that now. So we can move the leg and still have the ability through these groups to create some really interesting effects. Like if you see, if I still rotate here, you see that the foot can still be planted even in the air there. So I'm gonna go back. Okay, so we're there. So now we need to give some meaning to this, because at the moment we cannot just animate or ask it to start animating all these groups. So we need to create a sort of system or UI that allows us to do that. And most likely the good candidate for that is to put it in this control, because this control, remember, that comes along no matter which system you are, either IK or FK. So what I'm going to do is I'm take this guy here, this control, and I'm going to modify and say add attribute, and I'm going to start adding some attributes to it. So I'm going to start with the pill heel group, the pill heel attribute. So I'm going to call this pill heel attribute, and it's going to be a float, and it's going to be between I think the pill heel will be between, I think we can probably put that guy to be probably between 0 and a maximum of 10 probably. The default will be 0, and we say OK, and that's added here, and that is going to be this for the pill heel, which is going to be this group here, okay, which was the original one that we created. Okay, so now we need to come up with an idea, say how much do you want. Obviously not, this is not going to twist like this, so that's why they didn't give it any negative number. So only this goes from 0 to 10. Okay, so when it's 0 it's like this, and when it's 10 is all the way up. So I think if we take pill heel and say, okay, this is going to be probably the maximum you want to go is say this, say 60 degrees, and then it will be up to you, and maybe depending on the character that you have. Okay, so you have pill heel, and what I'm gonna do is now we're gonna control that with the set driven keys again, like before. So we're going key, set driven key. We say set. This is gonna be the driver. Okay, this, and we're gonna go and select this group, which is the pill heel group, and we say that's gonna be the driven. Okay. So, and we say that the rotation for this was going to be the rotation in X. Okay. So when pill heel is 0, this rotation in X is 0, and then we keyframe. Then with pill heel, or the pill heel, oops, sorry, it should have been 0. Should have been 0. So we do it again. When pill heel is 0, and rotate should be 0. We key again. And then with this bill here will be 10. Then we say that this should reach 60 degrees. And we come here and keyframe it. So now I have the setting that allows me to go, you know, from 0 to 1, from 0 to 10. 0 is this, 10 is all the way up there, so it's all done. What I'm gonna do now is I'm going to connect the other ones. I'm gonna create the other ones, so I'm gonna go into here and say I'm gonna create all of them as a add attribute, and I'm gonna call that I'm gonna start with stand tip, and it's again in the stand tip. Stand tip is gonna be from 0 to 1. So sorry, 0 to 10. You can do it to 1, but it's good to have. Obviously, the bigger the number, the more you can do side here in the view. With middle click and drag, you can do it in the viewport. So say OK. Should I close that and modify? Add attribute. I was gonna hit apply next time. Okay. The next one is gonna be twist heel. So we're gonna go here twist heel, and the twist heel is going to go between because that's gonna be the one that takes from here, gonna pivot down, up and down. So we're gonna give it a negative and a positive side. So -10 is minimum, and the maximum is 10, and the default is 0. So we say add. Now that is twist heel. Now we say twist toes. Twist toes, and twist toes as well is gonna be negative. So you're gonna have a negative number from -10 to 10. The add, and then the last one is going to be toe tap. So we say toe tap, just tap at the toe tap. So it's gonna be, and that's gonna be as well probably negative -10 and maximum 10. And we say okay, that'll be all that. Now we just have to create the connections with the set driven keys. So again, we go into key, set driven key, we say set, and this is going to be the driver. And now we're going to start playing around with this. Okay, so now the next we need to do is the I think we're going to start working backwards. So we're going to stand tip. We're going to do this, and the stand tip should be with the toe pivot grip, and that will be this one. So a stand tip will do this. Okay, so that will be the group that we need. So that's going to be the driven, and that's going to be the X as well. So when this I think this is only positive, yeah. So I'm gonna go with this is 0, stand tip. This is going to be the rotation in X. It's going to be 0, so we key that. When stand tip is gonna be 10, then we probably take this, I don't know, all the way to, I think probably that's too much, probably 75 degrees. And stand tip 10, and that is all the degrees. So we say key, and now when we go back, we have that functionality already built in. So we have this, and we still have bill heel as well, so we can still do more there. They can blend together as well, so that's fine. So twist is the next one, is twist heel, and twist heel is going to be the heel pivot grip. So that will be heel pivot grip. That's the driven, yeah. And again, that's going to be the twist heel. Okay, let me open it a little bit more. You can see the twist heel, and the twist heel, and the rotate. I think it's the same. Rotate, yes. So that will be the negative. That will be the rotate X as well. So when this guy's twist heel is 0, this stays 0, so we keyframe that. So when twist heel is negative, then it's up to you if you want to do the negative that way or the negative that way. It's up to you. So I'm gonna put a negative like that, and I would say probably 60 degrees as well. So we say keyframe, we take this and we put a positive, and we put it probably to -60 then. Okay, so we have now we selected the stand. We need to do is the twist heel. So we got these two done. Twist heel. Okay, this one here 0 is the heel pivot grip. Rotate X, both 0. We just break this connection here. Break connection. We keyframe that. Okay, so now when twist heel is negative, put a negative, then it's up to you guys. You want to negative this way or negative this way. So I want to put negative this way, probably 60 degrees. And we keyframe that. And when we go positive, we take this and we put it probably -60 degrees. And we keyframe that. So that's done. So now let's check them out. So I'm gonna negative, negative, 0, and this still works, and this still works. That's fine. So now we're gonna go with twist twist toes, and twist toe is gonna be the toe pivot grip. So we need to select the toe pivot grip, which is this one, toe pivot grip. That's driven. Again, rotate. So take twist toes. When twist toes is 0, this and rotation is 0, so we keyframe it at the toe pivot grip. Now when this is left foot control here, the twist toe is negative, we take this and then we say that negative is going to be, I don't know, so you're going to do it like this if you want negative. I don't know, it's up to you. But let's put it here -50, for example. I don't think that's going to reach that pose anyway, but let's do it. We keyframe that, and when twist toes is positive, we probably do the opposite of this, which is probably 50. And I forgot to select the right one, so I'm just gonna go back here again and mess this up. Let me see which one got the stuff here. So twist heel is fine, twist toe is fine. So I forgot to select twist toe here. So got that there. Just gonna break this connection, and toe pivot grip is the twist toes. Yep, that's fine. So we got this here, which is driven, and this is the driver. So we got twist toes, and twist toe needs to be in 0, and this needs to be in 0. Okay, key. When this is negative or positive, sorry, to put negative, then we take this and we do the opposite of this. So -50. And we are in twist toe, we are in twist toe, twist pivot, so key. When this is positive, then we take this and we do the opposite, so let's say 60 degrees. And we keyframe. That's fine. So now we know with toe tap. Okay, and toe tap just needs the toe tap group. Okay, so I'm gonna take this and put it back to 0. And toe tap is toe tap grip, driven. Again, rotation X, left foot toe tap. Make sure they are selected the right ones, otherwise you're gonna start messing with them. So when it's 0, it's 0, it's 0, it's all 0. So we keyframe. When this is negative or negative down, we probably going down as well. So we probably do this. So we say 50. And they'll select the right one, toe tap, and the rotation with the toe tap group is the key. And we take now the positive side, and we do the opposite here. In that case will be the positive will be up, say -60, and -50 in this case that will be enough. Let's put a little bit more, let's put a -60. And we keyframe. Okay, so now we test them. So it works. works. That works. That doesn't work. Or I forgot to connect the connection. That doesn't work. That's fine. Stand tip is the top pivot group. So let's do that again. So this one is fine. This one, for some reason, didn't have any connection. This one. So that will be the top pivot group, which is this one. And this one goes in sort of keyframe, but just gonna delete that break connection. I think that's the mistake that I made here. So the problem we're having with stand tip, and that will be the top pivot group. Top pivot group is a bit confusing at the beginning, guys, but you will get used to this. Driven. So we take this. The second one down was a key, and this is positive now. We take this, and we just take it to 80 if you want. I don't know, you're gonna reach that post, but that's fine. So stand tip, rotate, key. So now it should all work now. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Even the switch works, yeah. That's fine. Twist tails got disconnected for some reason. I think twist tails is not necessarily really. It doesn't matter. Forget about twist tails for now. It's fine. Anyway, so to be honest, when I use this, I normally create a control for it. I don't use this. This is a quite fairly old system now, because some people, some animators find it a bit problematic just to move this stuff around instead of selecting something in the viewport. But at least you know. So the same goes with the hands. So you got the option of creating this with the hands for the fingers. You can create a controls in every single one of these ones, or you can just go and create a single individual control. It's up to you. Okay, so I think that's it. That's it for now for this class. I'm just gonna close it here. And I think the last thing that I'm gonna come to do now is to clean up probably these controls here. And that's all for now. Thank you very much, guys. Bye bye. Thank you.